Lieutenant Governor Jerry Askin says the purpose of the special session would be to discuss dipping into the state's constitutional rainy day fund. The fund sits at about $600 million.
We can go to 3/8 of that, 3/8. And I can assure you that that 3/8 won't go very far, because I can tell you that the discussion is talking about cuts plus the rainy day fund.
Askin spoke to this group of juvenile judges and child welfare advocates assembled for the Oklahoma Children's Court Summit. She argues that some state youth programs have never recovered from cuts sustained during the state's last budget crisis in 2003. Askin's hopes programs aimed at intervening on behalf of children in crisis will not be targeted when cuts are made.
We're talking about our children, we're talking about safety and security, we're talking about health issues, and clearly the effort to maintain dollars in programs where there are federal matching dollars will be a key component, because we don't want a double whammy.
The lieutenant governor urged those attending the summit to make face-to-face contact with legislators to let them know about the children those programs affect. The group also heard from those who've been in the foster system, like college student Nicole Coleman.
At the end of the day, a lot of these connections, a lot of the choices that you're making affect not just, paperwork, they affect our lives. And at the end of the day, it's like, can you go to sleep knowing that you fully did your job to the best of your ability?
The chief of the juvenile division for Tulsa District Courts was one of those attending the summit. Judge Doris Francine is on the front lines of the battle to protect some of Oklahoma's most vulnerable children.
And I've got 12-year-olds that are addicted to drugs, and yet I don't have placements for them. I don't have drug treatment for them. I don't have appropriate mental health. We only have 8 competent child psychiatrists in the state. So the legislature has to wake up and understand this should be their first priority.
Judge Francine adds that any cuts made to the children's courts or child welfare system would be short-sighted.
Only when they invest in providing for our children will their budgets decrease with the Department of Corrections and the adult drug courts.
Attendees at the Oklahoma Children's Court Summit also heard about recent changes in the Oklahoma Children's Code that alter the rules for dealing with youth in court proceedings. Among the changes is more leeway for judges to consider a child's wishes when judicial rulings are made. In Midwest City, Lori Rasmussen, the Oklahoma News Report.